Hello, everybody. Welcome to session number 3. We are going to be doing some active work with our sweaty hands. So raise your little sweaty hankies if you guys have one with you. Today, I am happy to have Emilie Hahn with us. She is a designer. Emilie, I'm going to have you introduce yourself before we go over what we're doing today.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Emilie Hahn. I'm a designer, illustrator, artist. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I'm super excited to walk you through some cut paper self-portraits today.
Okay, so some of the tools that we have today are scissors, colorful construction paper, glue. You'll see on our videos, you'll have firsthand look at these are my sweaty hands here. Emilie's over there with hers and her pencil and everything all set. So we'll start with just you kind of guiding us through what we're going to be doing today, and then we'll go ahead and just talk through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So hi everyone. I have my hands here, if you can see. So I'm going to show you some stuff here first. So we're going to make some self-portraits out of cut paper, and I wanted to show you some examples of what this could look like. So here's a cut paper portrait that I did of myself, a little bit more of like literal kind of portrait. Here's another one that I did out of cut paper, mixed media with colored pencils. So just to give you an idea of like the different types of looks that your self-portrait can take. You can do like a full body portrait showing your whole body. This one I used cut paper and colored pencil as well. So today we're gonna do all cut paper. And I think the reason why we should do this is because you know, I have very sweaty hands, and I think it's important to just lean into that and embrace it and not shy away from it. I know it can be hard sometimes working with paper with sweaty hands, but you know, the only way through your fear is just to embrace it head on. So let's do it. So yeah, if you can gather your supplies, the first thing we're gonna do is a sketch of what you want your self-portrait to look like.
Great.
So here we are. So when we begin making our sketch, there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can look at a photo of yourself, you can look in the mirror, or my favorite way is just to kind of do it from memory, like how you see yourself in your mind. So that's what I'm gonna do today. You know, no one knows what you look like better than you. So yeah, let's begin. I'm gonna do a full body portrait.
So you're showing like your head or like?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna start this, and this is just a rough sketch to plan out what you want your portrait to look like. So okay. I'm gonna draw my head, my neck, and then because we're embracing our sweat today, I'm gonna really focus on my hands because I feel like that is the one that gives me the most grief. You know, I sweat head to toe, but as an artist, the hardest thing is having sweaty hands because it's like, you know, your laptop, working with paper, anything, it's just difficult. So I'm gonna, instead of trying to hide them, I'm just gonna draw them really big. Because that's how they feel sometimes.
I did art as a kid, and I remember doing just like the charcoal and smudging things. I was like, this is too much smudging going on here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I struggled with the same thing. Man, charcoal is really hard to work with if you have dry hands even. So
yeah, exactly. I'm just stuck on my head right now. Are you doing like your eyes and everything right now too?
Yeah, oh, so that's another thing that helps. So keep it really vague, or not vague, keep it very general.
Okay.
So every line that you make is going to be a cut in the paper. So
Okay.
you want to think big, simple shapes and try not to get too specific with your shapes. So think, instead of thinking face, think maybe like an oval.
Okay.
Yeah, and less detail.
I'm terrible.
So then I'm gonna move on to my legs. And my feet sweat too, my whole body sweats.
What got you into doing art?
Yeah, so I have always loved doing art. I grew up in like a very creative household, so my parents were encouraging of it. And then I went to art school for college, and I've just been doing it my whole life. It's like, I don't know what else I would be doing. So
Yeah, of course. Do you feel like, did you have any hesitation to go into it because of your sweaty hands or?
yeah, absolutely. I definitely struggled with that. I think, you know, I just really related to what you guys have all been talking about in the previous sessions. Like, it can be so embarrassing when you feel like you're the only one in the class that is like struggling to make a drawing. And I would have all these coping mechanisms. Like, I'd put a little piece of paper under my hand and like, or I would like do this with my sleeve, you know, and like try to draw.
I'm wearing long sleeves today. I don't know if you could tell, but.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's hard. And I recently, this year, I feel like I finally have been embracing it more and just like not being so ashamed of it. And I made this project called Don't Sweat It project. You can check it out, don'tsweatitproject.com. And I did a bunch of claymation pieces about having sweaty hands, just to like really embrace it and lean into it. Yeah, because I just am so tired of feeling like it's hidden and secretive, and I wanted to lean into it more.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually what attracted me to your account, was the one that you did with the drops of rain. What is it? The stay motion, or what do you call it?
Yeah, it's like a stop motion clay hand, and there's like beads of sweat dripping off of it. Yeah, I made that this summer, and it's funny because it's been one of the like most interacted with pieces I've ever made. People really resonated with it.
It was really cool. And yeah, like just to be able to see it, and now you have like gifts that you can put. It's like there's no gift that accurately describes our sweating. It's not just, you know, the emoji that has that one little drop there.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because during the election, it became a trending GIF because everyone went on Instagram and typed in nervous or like worried or anxiety. And one of my friends texted to me and she was like, go on Instagram, like your sweaty hand GIF is trending. And it had like 15 million views or something.
Oh my God.
So it's like the most successful thing I've ever made. And I was like, no one's going to relate to this. Like, this is just, I'm making this for myself. And it ended up being like the most popular thing I've ever made. So
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Funny how that works. I'll drop this in the comments here. Let's see. So this is the website. I put it in the chat. It's just an art project embracing sweatiness. And then if you want to find the GIFs on Instagram, you can type in my name. If you go into the GIF search and just type in Emilie Hahn, and my GIFs will show up. And my Instagram is @Emilie_Hahn. Okay, great. So we've done our sketch. So I'm going to add some sweat droplets to my hands. I'm going to do a very kind of simple facial expression, nothing too complicated. So here's the final sketch.
It looks great. You want to see mine? Mine's really
Yeah,
good.
let's see yours.
Oh my God, I look just like this. I don't know, can you see it? Oh, maybe, oh, I'll do it this way, duh. Oh my God, it's so light. Can you see? I just look
Yeah,
like a
very
person.
tangly, yeah.
Look like a very block person.
Oh, nice. I can see it. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. So we have this, and this is basically just a guide for how we want the final piece to look. We don't have to stay too closely to it, but it's mostly just to help us plan what we want to do.
Okay.
So now we'll gather our construction paper. So some supplies you need are some scissors, a glue stick, and some different colored construction paper.
Ready. Hey, I open the glue stick now. Dang it. Anybody else have issues opening glue sticks?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I gotta use my towel for this, guys. Yeah, so I mean, a part of why I really wanted to do this is because I think it's really important that, you know, as a kid, this was extremely frustrating to me because I really enjoyed art, but like my sweat was all over the place. It was like a part of the painting, and it wasn't supposed to be a part of the painting. And so I think it's just very important for us that even though these are very uncomfortable things that we go through or activities, it's good to have a community that we have now. So you can teach me how to do it. And, you know, I know that, you know, it's going to be okay. Like we can still do it. We just have to like do it our own way.
Absolutely. I think the biggest lesson I've learned is like, my sweat isn't going anywhere. So like, I want to do this so badly. So it's like, I just have to do it. And like, you know, not to be so ashamed of it. And I think if anything, it's like, some days it does make it harder because, you know, than the average person, because of course, like you have all these workarounds. You're like, I don't want to get the paper wet. I don't want to smudge the drawing, or like even on a laptop, if I'm trying to do something, it's like, you know, my keyboard is wet with sweat, and it makes it so much harder, but in a way that like builds resilience. And it helps just build character and makes you that much more dedicated. So yeah, the only way out is through, and just remember you're not alone. I think it's so important to just, you know, not feel ashamed, because sweating is normal and natural.
Yeah, I think what really helped me in the last 2 years is just really embracing it and understanding what that means. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't frustrate me. It doesn't mean that it doesn't bother me. It just means like, okay, I notice that this is here. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to take a beat. And then, you know, I'm just going to find a way to still do it, you know, without having it just totally consume me. And then, you know, in the previous session, they're talking about like, you know, that negative mind frame and just trying to get myself out of that. And that sometimes requires us to challenge ourselves a little bit more out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's important to not be discouraged because of it. Like, you should still absolutely do art or do things that are difficult with sweaty hands, and don't let it discourage you from trying. Okay, great. So let's move on to this paper part. So now, in order to start making the shapes, what we're going to do is choose a color for your skin tone. It can be realistic, it can be, you know, whatever you want. The beauty of a self-portrait is that it's truly however you see yourself, so it doesn't have to be realistic if you don't want it to be. So then I'm just going to draw the head shape on the colored paper.
Okay.
So it looks like this. And then I'm going to cut this out.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Where am I?
And there's a lot of different ways to do this, but I kind of like doing this way because you get a little bit more like happy accidents. Instead of tracing it, sometimes it can look a little stiff and perfect, and you still keep kind of like that look of handmade art when you cut it out this way.
And like the natural imperfections that we all have, right?
Yes, absolutely. Embracing those happy accidents. And then the part of the beauty of if you have a symmetrical drawing is that you don't even have to erase the pencil. You can just flip it over and then you have your little head.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Ready to go.
Okay. What color did you use?
I used, so for my background, I have this pink color, and then for the head, I just have kind of like this peachy color. Okay, and then for the top, I'm probably gonna do this kind of orangey color because it matches my sweater today. And I'm gonna do the same thing, just kind of sketch out a basic, simple shape. And then if you have more time later, you can go in and add polka dots or stripes. But for now, I'm gonna just keep it pretty simple.
Okay.
Unmute your hand camera and mute your... Oh, I see. Let's see. Okay, did that work?
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Can you guys see
I like
my hand camera?
You're a star.
Sorry, awkward. Okay. Great. So yeah, just cutting out the shirt.
I made myself a long sleeve because, like you said, I'm wearing a long sleeve today, so I'm gonna kind of match my outfit.
Yes, absolutely. And you can kind of make your dream outfit if you want, or you can be more realistic and have it match exactly what you're wearing.
What are things that we want to wear but struggle to wear?
Absolutely.
Sandals, of course.
Okay, now I'm gonna draw my hands.
Oh, I drew this backwards. Oh well. There you go. This is too funny.
How's it going?
I mean, let me show you. Because I didn't really do this right, but it's okay, guys.
Nice. Yeah, that looks good. There's no wrong way to do a self-portrait.
Okay, now we're doing hands.
Okay, so here are my hands. They are comically big because sometimes that's how they feel because they take over my life.
Seriously. Probably easier to cut out too when you make them a little bit bigger. You probably won't get through doing the whole body, but I mean, I think you guys get the gist, you know. Right now, you can't see, but my sweat is like on the construction paper. This is a dark orange, but I'm just making it darker with my
Yeah, me too. My hands are smearing the pencil lead, but you can just turn it over and no one will ever know. And part of the beauty of this is if you want to, you can digitize it and you can Photoshop out the smudges later if you have
Wow, that's a
if you have extra time or interest. I frequently do this.
Sorry, I chopped off my fingers, but it's okay.
Oh, no, be careful.
I only have 3. Oh man. I should have done more practice with my drawing. Make this hand just like enormously large here. Are there other career paths that you maybe thought you were going to go into, maybe decided against it because of your sweating, or like you said, probably because your upbringing, you're just kind of always attracted to being in
let's see, I kind of pursued like more administrative desk jobs for about a year. Yeah, I would say it's so hard to like publicly be an artist with sweaty hands because, you know, that's just like an inevitable part of the job. You can hide it a little bit more in a desk job. But yeah, I think I was just really unhappy and I just wanted to make art. So I ended up, I tried it for a year and then I was like, I just need to try making art full time again and see what happens.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the job that I'm in now, like if I, like a part of my job, which is like a very small percentage, is I have to put armbands around people. Had my job description said that, I would have just like skipped right over and not even applied. So then I remember like training and being told, oh, you're going to be putting armbands on people and doing this and that. And I was like, what? Like,
yeah.
In my head, I was like mortified. But then like, you know, I wasn't going to say anything. This is a job that I wanted. And I just got used to it like over time and doing it. And I really enjoy my job now. I've like had such great experiences with it. And it's just one of those things that we're talking about that, you know, it's uncomfortable at first. We may not know how to do it, but when we have a community where we can talk about our sweating comfortably and not be so embarrassed about it, it makes things a lot easier. You know, we can rely on each other for advice because there's someone else out there that's probably done it a different way and has found success.
Yeah, definitely. I know I've always, like, I remember just having to shake someone's hand at work and just being so embarrassed and like, but one thing I have noticed is like, instead of like something I tried doing is just saying like, I have hyperhidrosis. And I've noticed people are very respectful of that. Like a lot of people don't know what it means. And if I shake someone's hand and I'm like, sorry, my hands are so sweaty, I have a medical condition called hyperhidrosis, I've noticed people are really responsive and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was a thing. And
yeah, exactly.
It helps to just kind of put it out in the open a little bit and be like, sorry, this is who I am. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
Exactly. Sorry, I'm not sorry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna quickly do some pants for my gal.
Some pants here too. Yeah, and I think it was fun too, just like thinking about what we were gonna do, because initially we thought, oh, we'll just do like a was it oil painting?
Yeah, we were gonna do a like a painting demo.
And then we're like, I was like, you know what, I don't think this is challenging enough.
Yes, this one feels like directly related to, you know, sweaty fears, sweaty phobia.
Okay. So Emilie, is there any advice you want to give everybody before we leave, for anyone who maybe wants to be an artist or anyone who, you know, has a passion to do something but is terrified because of their sweating?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just don't let your sweatiness hold you back. I think sometimes we make up these like imaginary, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I love it. Yeah, sometimes we make up these kind of imaginary barriers in our head. And I'm not saying that having sweaty hands is, you know, it's very difficult and I struggle with it frequently, but it doesn't have to be like a barrier that holds you back. I think you can do anything that someone who doesn't have sweaty hands can do. And especially like being a professional, just have confidence in yourself and your ability, and your sweatiness doesn't make you like less than or less talented or less worthy. So yeah, just go for it. And if you ever need tips or tricks, you can ask me. I love the piece of paper trick. If you're drawing, I'll take like a piece of scrap paper and I'll kind of put it under my hand like this to draw, and that way you don't smear your drawing. Sometimes I'll wear gloves, but I try not to. And then worst case scenario, if you mess it up with your sweat, you can always Photoshop it out. That's what I do all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, we have...
All right, let's see your final product.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't get very far. This is what I have so
Pretty
far.
Good, though. I love it.
So, yeah, the next steps would be
Embrace
to add hair and sweat.
Don't let your sweat get in the way of your art, of your creativity, of your passion to go after what you want to do.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Emilie.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Yeah, we'll do it again sometime soon.
That would be awesome.